Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing a little video that has been requested by many of you, and it's about some random facts about me, right? You want to get to know me a little bit better, so I've chosen 20 random facts and we're going to get into them right now. All right, number one is something that very few people know about me because I managed to keep this kind of secret, not for any particular reason, but it's the fact that I dance almost every single morning as soon as I wake up. Well, not as soon as I wake up. I take the dogs for a walk, and when I come back, I give them their breakfast and I dance for anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. It's my favorite form of exercise. I love breaking a sweat without feeling that I'm breaking a sweat. And it's just something I love to do. When I was a teen and growing up, I used to take tons of dance classes. I did ballet and modern dance, contemporary dance. I did Broadway style dancing, flamenco. I even taught dance at a period, during a period of my life to little kids. And it's something that I love to do. However, my dream was always to be a professional Irish line dancer. If you don't know what it is, Google Irish line dancing. Or there's this company, what's the name of this company? Riverdance. Google that or find it on YouTube. You're gonna see what I mean. It's this crazy, incredible dance. It was always my dream, but we didn't have any classes where I lived growing up, so it's still in my bucket list. I might do it someday. I used to have dogs and cats and turtles and sheep and ducks in my house growing up. Not in our house where we lived in the city, but we had a tiny little beach house and we had lots of animals in the garden and in the land that we had in that tiny little house. So it was so much fun growing up next to these animals. You know, the sheep's name was Merlin, but then we got him a little female companion and they started getting into all of this trouble. They were so naughty and mischievous that we had to change their names. We renamed them Bonnie and Clyde because they were basically criminals. And it was so much fun to have them around. My mom rescued them from somebody who was probably going to eat them. And we were not vegan by then, by the way, but we were huge animal lovers. And we had the two ducks. The two ducks were called Adam and Eve. I saw the original Broadway production of Cats a total of 9 times on Broadway. 9 times. If you don't know what Cats is, what this musical is, well, I have to tell you, I'm feeling very old right now. Now, when I'm feeling stressed or anxious or I'm just feeling so overwhelmed and I need like a quick release, what I always do is I get in my car and I sing La Vie Bohème by the musical Rent, from the musical Rent, at the top of my lungs. And I know every single line of this song. And if you've ever heard it, you know that that is something to definitely be proud of, right? Now, this is something many of you might not know about me. My first language is actually Spanish. English came really, really closely after it, so I really feel equally as fluent in both of them, except for 2 things, reading and writing, in which I am absolutely better in English for some strange reason. I think it's because I did so much reading as a kid in my school. My school was an American school, and it's just, I am terrible. I'm so slow at reading in Spanish, even though I use Spanish every single day. That's the language I speak with Carlos, my husband. So there you go. I was the lead in all of my high school plays, from Tennessee Williams to Arthur Miller to Oscar Wilde plays. I even won the Best Actress Award the year I graduated, which made me so happy. Doesn't mean I was very good, but you know, I loved it. So are you sensing a theme here? Maybe I should have gone for a career on Broadway. So maybe in my next life, who knows? I used to be such a carnivore, like a hardcore meat eater, that the only requisite whenever my family was choosing a restaurant for us to, go and have Sunday lunch in or whatever, it had to have steak for me. So that was kind of a prerequisite. They knew that if it didn't have steak, then maybe I wasn't gonna want to eat there. That's how much of a carnivore I was. And look at me now, right? So anybody can change. If I could change, anybody can change. I absolutely despise celery. I hate it. It's the only vegetable I do not like. I can only use it, minced really, really finely in dishes and in soups and to kind of develop flavors. but I hate it. I hate celery. Who likes celery anyway? It's just weird. I'm terrible at maths, hate it, not good at it. There's no hope for me. Now, I am addicted to the cinema and to music, and you'll always find Carlos and I at the cinema watching movies at home. We love it, and we plan all of our holidays, our vacations based on concerts and on music festivals, and we just love going to them. We love music. There's always music playing at our house, and while we work at the computer editing videos and working on the website and stuff. And I love this about him when I met him, because this is the way it was in my house growing up. Instead of having the typical den at my house, we had what my mother called the music room. It wasn't really a music room, but it was like our little den. And that's where we had all of my mom's old records, a record player, and lots of different instruments, because between my mother and her two brothers, my two uncles, they played the piano, the violin, the harp, the ukulele, and the guitar, classic guitar and electric guitar. So we had all of these instruments at home, and we would have jam sessions. Now, I have to tell you that I am the black sheep of the family, because I never learned to play an instrument. I kind of started learning several. I never finished. I'm hopeless. Although I love music and I would love to kind of learn some of these, absolutely, bucket list. But I would kind of do choreographies, because dance was my thing, and I would sing, and we had the best time. And when I met Carlos, this kind of continued in our house as well. We don't do the jam sessions, but we definitely listen to a lot of music. One thing that's on my bucket list is to take singing lessons. I've always wanted to do it. I don't know why I haven't done it, but it's always been a dream of mine, just for me, not for any other reason. I don't want to start a girl band. I just want to learn how to sing, and it's just because I love music so much. Gray is my absolute favorite color, absolutely. Now, I've been with Carlos for almost 17 years at the time I'm filming this video, and we've been married for almost 10 years. It's gonna be our 10-year anniversary this year. And I love him so much. He's the love of my life. He's my best friend. He's such a fun person to be around with. He's so funny. He makes me laugh all the time. And we had this beautiful wedding. We got married under this amazing tree in a garden. And this wedding was actually planned in under 2 months, believe it or not. It was the absolute perfect wedding. It was gorgeous. We had all of our friends and family there, but we planned it in under 2 months because we wanted to take a road trip up and down the coast of California to go to some music festivals and to some concerts. And we had everything planned out, and we kind of decided we wanted that to be our honeymoon. So we actually decided to plan a wedding in 2 months, a full wedding, and we pulled it off. And it was gorgeous in spite of it only being 2 months. And we took our road trip, and it was the best trip I've ever taken. It was our honeymoon, but it was also just incredible. We went to the Grand Canyon. We went all across California. We went to Arizona and Colorado. It was amazing. I took my first cooking class when I was 15 or 16. It was a Japanese cooking class, and on one of our first dates, I decided to make Carlos some sushi because he was kind of starting to get into sushi, and it was one of the few things I knew how to cook really well because I had taken this class. So I decided to make lots of different sushi rolls, but I was just getting started, right? So I made the sushi rolls so big that I almost killed him, I promise you. He could not, he put one in his mouth, right? You normally put a whole roll in your mouth, you don't have to bite it. These were so big, they had so much rice that I almost killed him on our first date, on one of our first dates. It was so funny. It was funny, but it was really funny back then. I have to tell you, we laughed a lot. But poor guy, he had this roll in his mouth. He couldn't even chew or swallow. He was turning all shades of red because it was just impossible. He was gonna have to spit it out, and I guess he didn't want to do that on our first date, but it was fine. He swallowed it. He didn't spit it out, and I vowed to relearn how to make sushi rolls. I love my dogs with a passion. They are my lifeline. I love them so much. They have been such an important part of my life throughout all my life, right? All of the dogs that I've had. They have been such a profound way to heal from some of the emotional and difficult issues I went through as a kid. They are just so special to me, and of course, they run the household now. Yeah, it's inevitable. Speaking of childhood, I was raised by a single mom, And my mom sadly passed away when I was 21 after a very long and horrible illness. And I don't have a lot of family now that is still with me, but if you've ever heard that your friends become your family, I can totally vouch for that. I literally get by with a little help from my friends, and that includes Gavas, of course, my best friend ever. I am extremely shy and a total introvert. Believe it or not, people never believe me when I say this, but it is absolutely true, and it's why that it has taken me almost 2 years to put this video up on YouTube. My favorite food movie is the very indie movie called Waitress, and it's the story of this woman who makes pies, and all the movie she's making pies, and I just think it's the perfect food movie. Keep in mind, you need to have pie in the house when you watch it. That's essential, or you're going to hate me forever. And I just love the idea of this because I think pie is the perfect food. You know, savory, sweet, it's just the perfect food. What could be better than pie, except a whole restaurant that is exclusively dedicated to selling only pies, like a gazillion different types of pies. That's what the movie's about. So yeah, that's my next business goal. Something that I haven't talked about a lot here in our YouTube channel, but that all of our members in the online program know. If you've read my story and if you listen to our podcast, the Brownble podcast, you've heard a lot about this before, but I think it's the first time I'm ever talking about it here on YouTube. And it's that I have struggled with food for so many years. I had such a difficult relationship with food, mainly based on emotional eating and overeating patterns, binge eating sometimes, and I just had a very complicated relationship between overeating and then going on very restrictive diets. So many, I can't even count them. And it was a really hard part of my life. It's something that not many people know. And it's something that has finally found a lovely place of healing. And it's something that I help you so much with when you're a member of our online program or people who listen to our podcast or read our blog. It's kind of part of one of the things that I help people through, because I think our relationship with food is so important. It's something that should be delicious, that should bring pleasure. It's not something that we should impose hundreds and hundreds of rules on top, right? It's something that is a part of sharing social time with friends and family. And it's something that has additional meaning and that has kind of effects on the world around us, right? That's why I went vegan. And it's been such a kind of rough and difficult journey, but it's also taught me so much about myself. And it's something that I love to help people through, because a lot of people are struggling with food, even when you don't know it, even when you see that they're maybe at a healthy weight, or you know, they seem to eat normally, but the struggles can have many shapes and forms. Your body can have many shapes and forms, and you can struggle with food. And yeah, so that's something you might not know about me, and I have found healing, and we can talk about this more in further videos, but I thought it was time to share it here on YouTube because I hadn't talked about it here before. Now, if you want to learn more about that, you can go to brownble.com. I have a whole story. You can read my personal story in the About section, and we have lots of podcast episodes and blogs in which I've talked about this, so you can head on over there to read more and find out more. Yay! Number 20, last one. Okay, so if you peek through my window, don't do that. That sounds kind of stalky and weird. But if you look through my window on any given day, you might just see me dancing and singing with my dogs to some Beatles tunes. And when the song Obla Di Obla Da comes on, all bets are off. I go crazy, the dogs go crazy, and I just love it. Did I tell you I love music? Did I tell you I love dancing? Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you know a little bit more about me. Lots of you were asking for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like and share if you want to. And lots of personal questions have been coming in, and I promise I will answer them through more of these videos or more personal videos in the future too, so stick around. Bye.